I know I said for the most part I was done with this fandom, but today we need to talk about a problem with the show itself, not the fandom. And you saw the thumbnail, you saw the title. That problem is Zooble. When you're thinking of Zooble, you're probably thinking about a very smart character. One of the most compassionate, who is very understanding of Gangle. However, they are far from compassionate, as we will see when we get to the Kaufmo segment. A lot of fans seem to have forgotten about Zooble's cruel personality and actions from the early days, so let's go back, all the way back, to the pilot episode.
Welcome to your new home. And your new body.
A new home?
Gee, what a warm welcome. What's wrong, Pommy? Aren't you feeling so welcomed? I think now's a good time to talk about the character's targets. With Jax, we know who he targets and why he targets them. With Jax, it's almost always two-sided beef, whereas with Zooble, it's the most one-sided beef ever. Now this random beef with Pomni continues throughout the episode.
Wait, Pomni's not even here? Wasn't this whole thing for her?
Be quiet. I can't hear the escalator.
You know what makes this even more stupid? Is that Zooble herself is known to skip out on adventures all the time. But now when Pomni does it, she has a problem with it? What? Alright. Moving on from Pomni. You know how this fandom says Kinger has no haters? Well, you're wrong. And his biggest hater of all is not Kane, it's Zooble.
Oh.
Hey! Kinger, you mother...
Alright, Zooble Glazers, let's not sugarcoat this. This is elderly abuse. This whole scene is stupid anyway. This clearly wasn't Kinger's fault. If anyone, she should have been mad at Kane for the weird digital world and its weird physics, but this literally was not Kinger's fault. Now, out of all of the crap Zooble has done in this episode, I am about to talk about the worst thing she has done yet, by far. And I am putting a trigger warning or topic warning or whatever it's called because, yes, we're going to have to talk about this. So anyway, we're about to go over that scene, so you have been warned. Anyway, here is the clip.
And into the cellar you go.
Man, I can't believe Kaufmo just gave up like that.
What? This is the most insensitive thing to say. Even Jax and Gangle are giving her the stink eye. But let me put you in their shoes, okay? Your friend has just committed. They have taken their life. And out of nowhere, this person comes up and they're like, man, I can't believe they just gave up like that. Should have went to therapy or something. Like, I just don't understand how you guys can't see how blatantly insensitive this is. This is like the worst thing to ever come out of Zooble's mouth. Out of anyone's mouth. This is just so insensitive. Oh, and things get even worse. I only showed a little bit of the clip. The clip keeps going.
I believe Kaufmo just gave up like that. I mean, no offense, Kinger, but I always thought you would be next.
Thank you.
Now, let me get this clear now. I'm not saying elderly people can't be suicidal, but at the same time, why would you even consider it? Why would you bring this up? Zooble just doesn't know when to shut up. I mean, I just don't understand how you Zooble fans can defend this behavior. Alright, I'm a little tired of talking about the pilot, so let's move on to episode 2. Candy Carrier Chaos. But Zooble doesn't actually go on the adventure, so she's more so present at the end of the episode, where she is hosting Kaufmo's funeral. What?
Got everything ready.
Hey, you at least want to join us for Kaufmo's funeral?
No, garbage. I don't buy it. Just an episode ago, Zooble was saying, I can't believe Kaufmo just gave up like that, and now she's the one in charge of his funeral? No, SimJ1, Ragatha was in charge of the funeral, not Zooble. That's also not true because Ragatha was on the adventure the whole episode. Zooble wasn't, so she was the one setting up, as she says from her own mouth.
Got everything ready.
I don't know how you can mess up this bad with the blatant continuity issue. I mean, again, just an episode again, Zooble was being very insensitive about Kaufmo's death, and now she's the one in charge of the funeral for his death. It's garbage. Get out of here with this garbage script. Who approved this? Okay. Let's move on to episode 3, which is actually Zooble's episode, so this should be interesting. But it's shared with Kinger? What? If anything, this is proof that this show needed more content. I don't know why Gooseworks and other writers think that long automatically equals bad. Because yes, a series can have too much content to the point where it's unbearable, but the same can be true the other way around. A series can suffer from not enough content, and tadc definitely suffers from that. Now anyway, with Zooble sharing the episode with Kinger, she doesn't even have that much screen time, but let's look at the little screen time she does. So most of the episode with her screen time is in these little therapy segments, where basically Kane is trying to figure out basically what her deal is. So here's the clip.
I do not use my adventures to torture my guests. Any torment I inflict is 100% accidental, like any good war criminal.
We weren't even talking about that. I really couldn't give less of a crap about the adventures.
Then what is your problem, Zooble? I'm trying my best to remember, but you and my brain won't tell me.
It's me, remember? I don't like myself. I hate this body. I hate all these stupid removable pieces. I just want to find something that feels good.
Is this supposed to be an explanation of why she was the way she was in the pilot? Let's go back to that one clip from earlier.
New home. And your new body.
This scene makes more sense now, and with us now knowing that Zooble has body dysmorphia, it explains why she was acting like this. She was projecting her own insecurities onto Pomni. And you know what? I like that. That is good writing. If only this plot point actually went somewhere. This show has a huge problem with characters never being punished for their actions. It's not just Zooble, but it definitely is prominent with her. Like, she never gets punished for her actions in the pilot episode. No one ever even brings it up again. You know what would be good? Like, if this plot point went somewhere and she apologized to Pomni. She was like, hey, Pomni, I was kind of projecting my own insecurities onto you, and that was messed up of me. And Kinger, I'm also sorry to you for calling you an MFer for no reason. But no, that plot point just goes nowhere, and it's such missed potential. And I do think Pomni deserved an apology. She did. Alright, now it's time for the McDonald's episode. And Zooble actually does have more screen time in this one.
Hey, Gangle. I think I found something you might like.
Oh, right, of course. What was I thinking?
I don't know if it'll work, but it looks about the same shape as yours.
Now, this scene doesn't make sense for two reasons. Firstly, Zooble and Gangle haven't even had a one-to-one interaction in the first 3 episodes. I beg you, rewatch them and look for an interaction with these two. So why does Zooble all of a sudden care about Gangle? And secondly, what do you mean you found like a mask for her in your room? That doesn't make sense. Did you conjure it in? That's a fan theory. Or did Kane put it there? What? But that's another video for another day. But let's just continue with the episode.
Well, see you guys when it's over.
Again?
I'm not gonna be a wage slave for fun.
Okay, if this episode was trying to make us believe that Zooble all of a sudden cares about Gangle, they failed to do that even. Because Zooble just continually makes fun of Gangle's adventure while Gangle is standing right there. And don't you dare say that Zooble didn't know it was Gangle's episode, or adventure. Because in episode 5, we saw this.
There's nothing wrong with your suggestion.
How did you know this was my suggestion?
It's painfully obvious whenever an adventure was suggested by Gangle. So, in episode 4, there's no way Zooble didn't know that this was Gangle's adventure. And she continued to critique it, while again, Gangle is standing right there.
Are you kidding me? I'm not just gonna be forced into this stupid adventure.
You can shut up now.
Thank you, Kane. Okay, let's skip to when they're in the adventure.
So you're just, like, actually doing the job.
Yeah, I don't want Kane to punish me.
Kane's not gonna do anything malicious. It's not in his nature.
You really want to find out? The only thing holding Kane back is the fact that he likes us. I wouldn't push it.
This scene breaks everything. Not just for Zooble, no. This breaks the entire show. I know I'm being very broad right now, but I will go very in-depth into this scene in part 2. But I'm not going to talk about it too much in part 1. We're just going to save that for part 2. Let's just continue on with the episode.
The mask didn't work. And now I don't think anybody wants to talk to me anymore.
I still like talking to you. Look, the new mask was a bust. So what? I'm sure we'll find something that works eventually.
I don't deserve a friend like you.
Well, you've got one. Now, come on over and hang out with the rest of us. Bring your art too. I always like seeing what you draw.
So this episode was supposed to be the start of Gangle and Zooble's friendship, and also one of the biggest ships in the fandom. But I'm sorry, this just was not earned. This was not earned at all. Again, I'll remind you, episodes 1 through 3, Zooble and Gangle haven't even so much as had a one-to-one interaction, a basic interaction. And even at the start of episode 4, when they have been interacting a lot, Zooble was literally making fun of Gangle's adventure while Gangle was standing right there. She even called it stupid. If anything, it felt like this episode was building up Pomni to be Gangle's friend. I mean, there was that random scene with the unicorn horn, which was kind of sweet. Then there was the scene where they were outside taking out the garbage. And then there was the scene where Pomni closed off the shift for Gangle. If anything, Pomni should have been Gangle's friend. Like, this just was not earned. Who approved this script? But yay, Yuri, so who cares, right? Okay. For this video, we have one more episode to go through. Episode 5. Now, I could talk about the whole corn thing and rage baiting Jax, but that feels a little nitpicky, but at the same time, that was a real phobia that Jax had. But no, I want to focus on this clip.
And
Ah, she's cool. Wait, what's that? What the heck? Who did this? You! Jax!
Alright, let's talk about what this scene looks like on the surface. So throughout the episode, they were testing out a new gimmick with calling votes for just about anything. And Gangle called a vote for Jax to turn into a maid or something. And obviously Jax got mad and chased Gangle around. But when you look under the surface, this scene is so much darker than that. When you rewatch this clip and you zoom in very carefully into the background, you can see Zooble whispering into Gangle's ear.
What's that?
The maid dress was never Gangle's idea. It was Zooble's idea. And if you rewatch the episode, it makes sense. Because earlier in the episode, Zooble already wasted her vote to make Jax a vegan. So she is just using Gangle to call a vote. In Zooble's eyes, Gangle is not a person. She's just simply another vote. Gangle is a tool to use. If I already used my vote, great, I get a second vote because I can just use Gangle's vote. But obviously, Jax doesn't think Zooble caught the vote. He still thinks Gangle did it. So he starts attacking Gangle. Now you would think, since this whole mess is Zooble's fault, she would try to save Gangle from being chased by Jax, because right now Gangle is being chased. But no. Zooble just stands there. She just stands there and it's like, oh no, Gangle! While Jax chases her as Gangle cries out. Now I beg you to please say, well, what was Zooble supposed to do? I beg you to say that. This show has gone out of its way to show Zooble is fully capable of defending herself. Now, sure, you could say, oh, well, she had 4 arms in this scene. Well, guess what? She doesn't even need all 4 of her arms. She only needs 1 to do an effective choke on
If
Jax.
there was a way to leave, I'm pretty sure we'd have all left by now.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
No matter how you frame it, you cannot defend this scene. And again, this show has a huge problem with characters not facing consequences for their actions. So no, Zooble never apologizes to Gangle. Gangle never confronts Zooble. There's never a moment where Zooble's like, hey Jax, Gangle didn't call the vote, I did. Nothing. I hope you Zooble Glazers actually sat down and watched this video without your bias glasses on and realized why Zooble is an awful person. I will be doing a part 2 to this video where I go over episodes 6 and 6 through 9, and who knows, I might even do character analysis on other characters besides just Zooble. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you for watching. This has been part 1 of the Zooble character analysis. Bye guys!